on your fitness journey. What is up, everybody? Hope y'all having a great day so far. Hope y'all are getting started on the right note. Beginning of the week, you're probably listening to this on Monday, so y'all be careful. Have a good day at work and attack the week. Win the week. You got to start on Monday if you want to win the week. So go ahead and win today. We'll go ahead and jump right into the podcast topic. And today's topic is, and it's for good reason that today's topic is what it is because y'all, if you follow me on social media, you've probably seen that I've been getting in the ice bath or a cold plunge. So that's what today's topic is going to be about. It's going to be about cold plunges. And I think I've actually done an episode about cold plunges before, but we're going to reiterate it again today just because I've been doing them again lately. So if you follow my journey, when I did my Ironman, I was doing ice baths after my really, really long workouts just to help with recovery because I was pretty banged up. I was working out 7 days a week, doing 2 days, 5 days a week. So my body was pretty banged up. So I was doing the ice baths, but I was having to act like physically go buy ice and fill it up in a little tub. But I did what I could. I had to work with what I got. But now, your boy upgraded. I still got the same little tub that I had. It's just like a little vinyl, plastic-looking tub that holds water. And it's literally made for doing cold plunges. But I got a chiller. So what is a chiller? It is what cools the water down. So you don't have to have ice. So this literally makes the water freezing cold. And you can set what temperature you want on there. And it'll literally keep running until it gets to that temperature. So that's what I got. And that way you don't have to go to the store and buy ice. You can just come home and jump right in it, and it's already going. So far, it's working pretty good. But yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about why I'm doing ice baths and what my plan is throughout the podcast. But yeah, you've probably heard or seen this new kind of trend or craze going all over the internet. If you're on social media, you've probably seen it a lot. And there's a lot of people doing it, and it's for good reason. There's a lot of good benefits around it. Most people, when you think of an ice bath, you think it's only for athletes because, I mean, really, anybody that was doing it in the past, it was just athletes. They were using it for recovery because it has really good recovery benefits. And athletes figured this out a long time ago, so they've always been using it. We actually used to do them back in high school after our long football practices during the summer. We would do ice baths. They would fill up a little kiddie pool and just fill it full of ice and water. And we'd have like 5-6 people in this kiddie pool at one time. But we were doing it the old school way. But in recent years, there's been a lot of studies and a lot of research going on around these ice baths. And they've actually found that there's a lot more benefits than just recovery benefits for your muscles that come from these cold plunges. So it kind of sparked this new wave of people doing cold plunges all over the internet, and lots of people are doing them now, and it's for good reason. So, it's beneficial for everybody, like not just athletes, not just endurance people, bodybuilders, professional athletes. It's good literally for everybody. Anybody can benefit from them. There's lots of good benefits, and that's what we're going to get in today. We're going to get into like what are the benefits? Are there any negative like side effects from it? Who should do them, who shouldn't do them. Y'all already know the drill like we do every podcast. We're going to give y'all everything you need to know. And hopefully by the end of the podcast, you'll have a better idea if you want to do cold plunges or not. Like if it's for you or not. Because I don't think it's for everybody. Because they, honestly, they suck. They really do. That when you first get in, they're pretty rough. But you get used to it pretty quick and they're not bad. And once you get out of it, you actually feel really good. So it's actually worth it. The hard part is just getting in. But once you get in, you're good to go. So what is a cold plunge? Or you probably heard the term ice bath. Either one. It used to be ice bath back in the day because you actually had to use ice. But now that they have chillers, they've kind of transitioned into the term cold plunge. So what is a cold plunge? It's when you get into really, really cold water. Usually between 45, 55 degrees Fahrenheit. In this cold water, it kind of shocks your body at first. When you get in, shocks your body. And it's good for many. Well, it's like you kind of do this in a special tub. Like they make now they make dedicated cold plunges, cold tubs. You could do this in a lake, icy lake. You can even do it in your own bath and just fill it with ice. There's many ways to do it. A lot of people used to do it in trash cans. They would fill it up with ice water. You can do it in a kiddie pool. You can do it wherever, however you can get the water cold. You just gotta make it work. Like I started off with just that little vinyl, the little vinyl tub that I had, and I just filled it up with ice. So why do people take these cold plunges? Well, people, they love to take these cold plunges because it can make your mind and it can make your body feel good. I mean, some of the popular reasons for that, for making your body and mind feel good, is number one, first and foremost, that everybody already probably knows, is it helps with muscle recovery. And this is why athletes have done these for years. After working out, your muscles, they might feel sore, they might feel tired. So put them in this cold water. It can reduce that soreness, and it can help your muscles recover faster, heal faster from the damage that happened during your training sessions or your workouts or your games, whatever you're doing at that time. The cold water reduces swelling, and it can help blood flow. It can help have better blood flow. So this also helps with muscle recovery, getting more blood to the muscle. Number two, it can boost your mood. So cold water, it makes your body release these, what we call happy chemicals. They're called endorphins. It makes your body release that. It's kind of the same thing that gets released when you work out. Like when you exercise, it kind of has that same effect. So like when you get out of it, you feel good. Like it's hard to explain. You would think you just got out of freezing water, like you would be cold, you're not going to feel good, but you actually do. It's weird how it works. And if you don't believe me, you'll just have to try it for yourself. When you get out of it, you feel good. It's just like when you leave in the gym. You know, you just knocked out a good workout. You feel good about yourself. It's kind of the same thing. Your body releases these endorphins. So these chemicals, these endorphins, they can make you feel energized and make you feel less stressed. So it can help your mood all the way around. Some people say that cold plunges can even help fight with like sadness or anxiety. I can't personally speak for these, but some people have had, they've seen the benefits from it, from on that angle. So you just have to try that out for yourself. Number three, it wakes you up and it increases your energy. So if you're ever feeling tired, feeling sluggish, a cold plunge will definitely wake you up fast. I promise you, once you get out of the cold plunge, you're not going to be tired. It's going to wake you up like that. Like it's like the most natural energy boost that you could get, honestly. It helps. It can also, oh my bad, I skipped the part right there. Cold water, yeah, it's going to shock your system and it's going to give you a burst of energy. Again, you would think you would feel like cold and not very pleasant once you get out, but that's definitely not the case. Like you feel good, you got those endorphins going, and you're woken up for the day. So this reason right here is kind of one of the reasons that I wanted to get the cold plunge and the chiller. That way I could, my plan is to jump into it very first thing in the morning, because I work out in the morning before I go to work. So I want to jump in it like as soon as I wake up. First thing I want to do, jump in the cold plunge. Not long, just like 3 minutes. Not very long, just enough to get my body cold, to wake me up and get me going. I've also heard that it could be good for like your workouts before doing a workout, because there's a lot of like scientific things that we're not going to go into. I don't want to dive like too deep into in the weeds about it. If you want to know more about it, obviously give it a quick Google search and you can learn a lot. But yeah, I want to use it in the morning just to wake me up and get me going. So that way it's kind of like a pre-workout. I can kind of use it as like a pre-workout before I go in. And by the time I get to the gym, I'll be wide awake. I'll be ready to go. And that way I can have a better workout that day. So that's kind of how I want to do it. That's kind of the reason I got it. I also got it for recovery as well. So I'm going to be using it after my long training session. So long runs, long bikes, heavy training sessions. So now that I got the chiller and it stays cold, I can pretty much use it whenever I want to. I can just hop in, go out there. I have it on my back porch. I can just go out there, hop in it. That's why I got it. So number 4, it can strengthen your immune system. So regular cold plunges might help your body fight off sicknesses. This cold water can help your body make more white blood cells, which will keep you more healthy over time. So that's how it can kind of strengthen your immune system. Some safety tips. We'll get into how long you should stay in a little bit, but some safety tips for cold plunges. I mean, if you can, never do a cold plunge alone. I know this everybody can't do this, but if you have somebody there, that's probably best for just to be cautious, just to be safe. Have somebody nearby in case you need help. I mean, you shouldn't if you're doing it correctly, but you never know. Make sure the water temperature is safe. Don't make it too cold. You definitely want to start out with a little bit higher temperature and then work your way down as you go. Don't start out with the lowest temperature because it may be too cold for you. You need to get your body used to it. And then once you get out, warm up slowly afterwards. Don't immediately like hop in a shower or something. Use a towel, put on some warm clothes, and let your body naturally bring your energy, your temperature back up. Let your body naturally do that by itself, because that's where you get some of those health benefits as well. Is that process of your body heating itself back up. So don't just like get out and then hop right into your shower, because that you may not see some of the benefits that you would regularly. And then if you have health problems, obviously you want to ask your doctor before doing this, because it may have some effect on it depending on your certain situation. So I can't speak on those for everybody, because everybody's gonna have a different situation. But yeah, just if you're thinking about doing them and you know you have some kind of health problems, go ahead and ask your doctor first. So who shouldn't take cold plunges? People with heart issues or problems with blood pressure. These people should be extra careful. I'm not saying you can't do it. Again, ask your doctor before you do it, but these people definitely need to be extra cautious. Kids and older adults, these people should also be cautious. I would definitely not let your kids do this while you're not there. I think kids can do them? Yes. And I think they if maybe not at the coldest temperature, but yeah, I would make sure you're there with them just in case. Just in case, just to be safe. You don't want nothing crazy to happen. Yeah, so some other benefits. Yeah, muscle recovery, we talked about, reduced inflammation. So that's going to help with your muscles being sore, inflammation after your workouts, improve circulation. So the cold causes blood vessels to constrict. So when you get out, they open back up. This boosts blood flow and delivers more oxygen and nutrients to your muscles and organs. That's going to aid in that recovery as well. We talked about boosted immune system, your better mental health. So cold water releases those feel-good hormones, the endorphins we spoke on. It can reduce stress and improve your mood. Cold plunges can also boost your dopamine levels, and these are linked to happiness. So it can make you more happy. I know it's kind of weird to think, but it all works hand in hand together. Increase energy and alertness, improve sleep. So some people find that regular cold plunges help them sleep better. It can calm your nervous system, making it easier to relax at night. So that's if you were going to take them later in the evening or even at night. And then another reason I'm mainly doing it is a tougher mindset and resilience. So enduring that cold water is mentally challenging, helping build that mental toughness and resilience. This is what I'm looking to get out of, because honestly, trying to talk yourself into getting into this freezing cold water is the hardest part. Like once you get in it, it's not bad. It's pretty easy, but actually getting in it is the hard part. I swear, like, I'll sit outside the tub for 5 to 10 minutes before I ever get in there, because it takes me so long to convince myself to actually get in it. And I'll be straight up with y'all. I was supposed to get in it this morning before my run, and I straight up didn't do it. I said, nah, I ain't doing it today. I didn't do it. But I made sure I got in it when I got home from my run. So I told you I was trying to use it to wake up in the morning. So that's what I was going to do. I was going to hop in it, wake up, go run, and then probably do it again when I got home. But I chickened out in the morning. So I went, ran, and then I came home and I did it when I got home. So I still did it, but I didn't do it in the morning like I said I was going to. So I was kind of slacking a little bit, but we still got it done. Just overcoming that discomfort, it can give you that sense of accomplishment, because you said you were going to do something that was hard, that was tough, and you did it and you knocked it out. So it's going to build like your mental toughness up. Same with going to the gym in the morning. Like if you say you're going to get up and go work out in the morning, you better go. Like you got to go. It's going to build your mental toughness, that resilience, and it's going to make you believe in yourself more if you actually do what you say you're going to do. So some negative side effects of cold plunges. Now, I haven't really seen a lot of people having negative side effects, but some of these things we're about to list, they could happen. And they're probably not very common for most people, but it's something to be aware of. So shock and breathing problems. So this is definitely a thing, but it goes away pretty quick. So when you first immerse yourself in the water, that sudden cold, it can cause your heart rate to spike, and it's gonna make it hard to breathe. So you're gonna be probably gonna be breathing pretty quick. And I do this too when I get in because it, like I said, it shocks your body. And if you have like heart problems or something, this could be dangerous for you. So again, ask your doctor before you do it. I think it can be done correctly. This may be something where you need to start with the temperature a little warmer so you can ease your way into that cold over time so it don't shock your body as bad, and then you can just get colder and colder over time. But yeah, when you first get in, it's definitely going to make your breathing a little bit harder, so you're going to have to breathe pretty quick. So just something to be aware of. And this is probably going to happen for everybody unless you've been doing cold plunges for a really long time and you're just used to it, then this probably won't happen. Number 2, risk of hypothermia. You could get hypothermia if you stay in the cold water for too long. You don't want your body temperature to drop too low, and that can be life-threatening. So this is probably the most serious one. But if you're doing it correctly, like the right temperature, the right amount of time, like don't stay in there too long. You don't need to be in there that long. If you're new, literally 1 to 2 minutes is going to be a good place to start. And then after that, like probably the most you'll ever need to do is 5 minutes. I'm doing like 3 to 5 minutes right now. Some people will stay in there longer, 10, 12 minutes, maybe even 15 minutes, but I don't really think that's necessary. 3 to 5 minutes is what I'm doing right now. And honestly, I would start with like 2 minutes, 1 to 2 minutes. Don't overdo it when you're first starting. As you get into it, you'll build that up over time. So there's no need to try to stay in there for 10 minutes when you first starting out. And there's no reason to try to start at 40 degrees when you're first starting out either. I'm doing mine at 50 degrees right now. That's what I'm starting out at. And 50 degrees, if you didn't know, is cold. It's really cold. So I would start there or even higher. You could start at like 55 degrees. Number 3, you got blood pressure spikes. Cold water can cause your blood pressure to rise sharply. This can be dangerous for those who have high blood pressure or heart conditions. So be aware if you have blood pressure problems. It could cause dizziness or lightheadedness. So the sudden change in temperature, it can make you feel dizzy. I haven't really dealt with this at all, so I can't really speak on it myself, but it could happen. This might increase the risk of slipping or falling when you're getting out of the water. So when you get out, if you're a little dizzy or something, be extra careful, be extra cautious. Don't make sure you don't slip or something. If you can, have like a little mat or something outside the tub. That way it can help with your grip and you don't slip. Number 5, numbness and tingling. So prolonged exposure to cold water can cause your skin to feel numb or tingly. In extreme cases, it may even cause frostbite in very cold conditions. Here in Alabama, we don't have this problem. It don't get cold enough, but depending on where you live, this may be a problem. So if you notice this numbness or tingling, I would get out immediately. Don't stay in the water. Get out. That's too cold. It's not that serious. You can do it another day. Number 6, possible muscle stiffness. So while cold plunges can reduce muscle soreness, they may also temporarily make your muscles stiff. Because you know how when it's cold outside, how your hands get really numb and stiff and you can't really use your hands? So it's kind of the same concept. The stiffness, it might make movement feel harder until you warm up again. So once you get out, let your body warm back up and it should go back to normal. Boy, that's just something to be aware of. And then number 7, it's just not suitable for everybody. Not everybody's going to like them. Not everybody's going to enjoy them. Like I said, they're very hard to get into. They kind of suck for a minute, but once you're in there and it's not bad. Your body will get used to it. Your body will regulate your body temperature and make it a little easier to sit in the cold water. So people with certain health conditions, maybe asthma, heart issues, you might experience negative effects. You'll know if you're one of these people. So just if you have one of these health issues, obviously it may affect you a little differently. But for the majority of people, you shouldn't have any problems really. It could also trigger an asthma attack or other breathing difficulties. Like I say, when you first get in, your body gets shocked. It does increase your breath rate. You do kind of have to breathe. You have to focus on your breathing for a second. So if you have asthma, be aware of that as well. Just always remember to ease into cold water gradually. Don't just start at like freezing cold water. Like at 40 degrees, that's too cold. Start with a little higher and work your way down. Know your limits. Seek advice from a healthcare professional, your doctor, if you have any health concerns. And do a little bit of research about them. before you get into them. Like look it up on Google, what you should and shouldn't be doing. So how cold should your cold plunge be? The ideal temperature should be somewhere between like 45 and 55 degrees Celsius. Not Celsius, Fahrenheit. I have seen people go even lower, but those are going to be your more advanced people who have been doing them for a while. That's going to be somewhere between 7 degrees Celsius and 13 degrees Celsius. So that's 45 to 55 Fahrenheit, 7 to 13 Celsius. I'm starting at 50 degrees Fahrenheit. That's where I've been doing mine. And honestly, that's pretty dang cold. It's cold enough for me. I don't even think I need to go any colder. Maybe once I get used to it, doing it for a while, maybe I'll have to go down then, but we'll see. You really just want the water to be cold enough to where it's uncomfortable when you get in. Like when you get in, it sucks. Like you want to get out. If it's that uncomfortable, then the water's cold enough. But you really don't need to go any colder than that, if that makes sense. How long should you stay in the cold plunge? If you're new to cold plunging, 1 to 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes. As you get used to it, you can work your way up to 3 to 5 minutes, maybe even 5 to 10 minutes. It's just important to listen to your body. If you feel uncomfortable or you experience any signs of numbness or dizziness, just get out the water immediately. Don't stay in there too long. Right now, I'm staying in between that 3 to 5 mark. That's all I'm doing. This is a good question right here. Should you cold plunge before or after your workout? So most time people cold plunge after their workout. This is the most common way of doing it because doing it after your exercise, this helps reduce your muscle soreness, speed of that recovery. So that's why athletes have done it this way for years. It can especially be beneficial for those who have had intense workouts, heavy weightlifting sessions, things like that. That cold water reduces the inflammation and the muscle damage. Cold plunging before your workout. So doing a cold plunge before a workout isn't typical. It's ain't most people don't do it this way, but some people use it to increase alertness and increase energy. So that's why I'm doing it. I'm doing it to wake me up in the morning because I wake up 4 a.m. and I'm working out by like 5:15. And sometimes I'm tired still. I'm not fully awake. So I know if I hop in the cold plunge, I'll be ready to go. I'll be woke up, ready to go to the gym. And hopefully the idea is kind of to replace having to use pre-workout. So if I'm doing weightlifting, I normally use pre-workout before my workouts. So I'm hoping this can kind of replace that. But we'll see. We're going to do some experiment with it and see how it affects my workouts. We'll see. It can be helpful for waking you up and sharpening your focus first thing in the morning. Sometimes I get a little distracted in the gym, not paying attention, looking at my phone and stuff. So I'm hoping this can kind of wake me up and keep me focused on what the task is for that day and what I'm training for. And the last one is cold plunging before and after your workout. So most people don't do both, but you can if you choose to do a cold plunge before and after. Just be cautious. I would if you're using it before, obviously you're using it to feel energized, and then but I would do it shorter. Like if you're going to use it before your workout, don't stay in there too long. Just do a couple minutes, like 2 to 3 minutes, just to get that energy boost to get your body cold. And that's going to be good enough for you pre-workout. And if you're going to do a post-workout, then I would say you could probably do it a little bit longer. You could stay in there a little bit longer, maybe that 5-10 minutes range to kind of get those recovery benefits from doing it, ease that soreness so your muscles aren't so inflamed. So yeah, if you're going to do it before, I would do it shorter, 2 to 3 minutes. If you're going to do it after, maybe 5 to 10 minutes. I mean, you have to play around the times a little bit yourself. And anybody you ask may tell you something different. You may not even want to do it for 5 to 10 minutes. You may want to keep it to that 2 to 3 minutes after your workout. It just depends. Play around with the times and see what you like. But that's probably what I'm going to be doing for now. About 3 minutes in the morning and then probably like 5 minutes after my workouts. That's probably all I'm going to do. I'm not going to try to get too crazy with it. Just be in there for a few minutes and that's all I need. So for best practices, it's recommended to save the cold plunge for after your workout to get the best recovery benefits. But if you're not necessarily looking for recovery, you're just using it for that energy boost to get your body woken up, get those happy chemicals, those endorphins rolling first thing in the morning, then you can use it in the morning too. That's kind of the way I'm going for it. Kind of just depends on what your goals are, what you're training for, and how you want to do it. I mean, I know some people probably don't want to jump in there first thing in the morning. That's probably sounds miserable to some people. And honestly, it sounds miserable to me too. I don't want to do it, but I'm going to make myself do it to kind of build that mental fortitude, that mental toughness. And that's kind of the reason I got it, because it sucks. And I know if I start my day off with something hard, like something I absolutely don't want to do at all, then I know it's going to make the rest of the day that much easier. Like if I started my day off with something hard, then the rest of the day probably going to be a breeze. I mean, not much. Things aren't going to affect me as much throughout the rest of the day because I've already dealt with something hard that day. You know, it kind of makes sense. You start your day off hard, the rest of the day gets that much easier. So that's kind of the idea around it. But I know that's not for everybody, and we'll see. We'll see if I stick to it. The plan is just to do it for like a month or so and see if I'm really seeing these benefits. I'm going to test it out myself. I don't want to preach something to y'all and not actually do it myself. So I'm actually experimenting this myself. I've already done it 3 days in a row now. So I'm going to try to do it like 30 days in a row, do it for a whole month. And then we'll do a little follow-up podcast. We'll talk about it and let y'all know my results and what I'm feeling from it. I got a lot of training coming up. So I'm training. I don't know if I've said this publicly yet, but in April, I'm doing an ultra marathon, 100 miles. So with that being said, I'm going to be doing a lot of running. My body's going to be really sore. It's going to be torn, like my knees, hips, ankles, probably going to be hurting. So that's another reason I got the ice bath, to help me recover so I can hop in it after my workouts for recovery. So that's going to be big for my training, but I'll keep y'all updated on how it's working for me. If I'm really seeing the benefits, if I'm noticing any other benefits that I didn't mention, what's the good and bad, the pros and cons, we'll keep y'all updated. So yeah, I think that's about it. All I have for the podcast. So yeah, if you've never cold plunged before, I suggest trying it out. Again, it's not for everybody, but if you're into fitness, if you're into working out, training, especially endurance training, it's gonna be good for your recovery. I'll be honest, it's gonna suck. Like it's gonna be so hard to get in it, but I promise you, once you get out of it, you're gonna be glad you did it. Like I've never got out of it and be like, dang, I shouldn't have done that. I've never done that because when you feel good when you get out of it, you know you did something hard, you did something tough, and you did it for a good benefit. Like you get good results from it. You get recovery from it. You get the mental benefits from it. You get the energy boost from it. You get the happy endorphins from it. So it's just like going to the gym for me. A lot of times people don't want to go to the gym. Like you got to drive all the way to the gym, spend an hour in there, probably work really hard while you're in there. It's not the most desirable thing to do. But once you're done with that workout, you feel good about yourself. You're like, yeah, I did that, knocked it out. Let's go win the rest of the day. So it's kind of the same thing to me. Like it sucks getting in the cold plunge, but once you get out, you feel good and you're glad you're done it. So they're kind of very similar to me. So yeah, that's about all I got. I'll keep y'all updated on the cold plunging journey. But yeah, I highly suggest try it out. Oh, not again, but I just want to say, start with just buying ice bags and trying it out in your own tub at your house. Because odds are you may not stick with it. So you don't want to go and spend a bunch of money on one of these like actual cold plunges and then not end up using it, because they're very expensive. I don't know why they're so expensive, but they are. If you buy like a real setup, I made like a DIY thing. So mine was actually pretty cheap, and you can build them yourself pretty cheap. But if you buy like an actual cold plunge that's made by a company, they're very expensive, like several $1,000s. So yeah, I would suggest start with ice in your tub. Try it a couple times. If you keep doing it and you like it, then eventually upgrade to like a DIY setup, which is what I got now. It's just a chiller and then a like little vinyl tub. It's hard to explain, but it's made for ice baths. It's literally just a tub that you get in. It's like a little stand-up tub. But yeah, start with that. And then eventually, if I keep doing it, eventually my goal is to buy like an actual ice bath, like a whole unit that's made together. But that'll be way down the road if I'm actually going to stick to it. We'll see. I like my little DIY setup I got now. It works well. But yeah, try it out first before you dive head first into it. And I think you'll be happy that you went that route instead of diving straight in, spending a bunch of money on it. But yeah, that's all I got for y'all. Hope y'all have a great day. Try it out. If you've ever tried a cold plunge, I want to know. Yeah, let me know Tell me your. I want to know the benefits you saw from it. If you saw any benefits, any side effects, hit me up. Send me a DM. Murphy McFit on all social media platforms. Rate the podcast if you haven't yet. I appreciate it. 5 stars. I'm on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, everywhere. If you hadn't yet, check out the YouTube channel. Subscribe if you would. I appreciate it. It's the Fitness Beginner Podcast. I post the full video episodes on there, and I also post some clips and stuff on there from the podcast. So y'all check that over there. Yeah, let me know if you're gonna try the cold plunge, or if you have any questions, hit me up. I love to help you out the best I can. I'm no expert in cold plunges by no means. I just started doing them. Well, I did them for my Ironman, and then I just started doing them about 3 days ago because I finally got my little chiller set up. But yeah, that's all I got for y'all today. Y'all have a great day. Peace, love, protein. We out.